Over the place.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I am live on my starting soon with mutes.
All right, so we're live on Facebook, definitely for sure. Ain't nobody watching, but we're online on YouTube too. Hey, it's the Wayfarer's Guide. That's my okay. I'm gonna term a new phrase. I'm trying to normalize a new phrase. This is this is my this is my partner in hosting, Dragon Scale, and I'm his partner in hosting, Mr. Solutions. This is a team effort. There's no host and co-host here. We're not do we're partners in hosting. I'm trying to normalize something new.
Partners in hosting. All right.
That's right. So welcome to the show. It's the Wayfarer's
Partners
Guide.
in hosting. I like it. Partners in
Don't
hosting.
you like it? Doesn't it sound like um
Nom, 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 nom. Delicioso. I need a
if you
backpack that's got a map in it and a hang glider that turns into a car. I'm all set.
if you watch the show, you know this is the first show that I started streaming, and it's a Monday show, so it is forever beset with technical difficulties and lateness. Um, so we appreciate you
I got
holding
out.
on,
Got
waiting
out.
for us to get
Yep.
online today and get everything fixed. But we're live everywhere today. It's dope. Yeah.
Everywhere.
We got some fun stuff planned. You want to talk about it?
Oh, I love to talk about it. So today, Mr. Soul-Lution is going to crack out some mapping software, some artistry stuff. We're going to crack open a few of these books. I have on hand the Book of Exalted Deeds. I have the Book of Vile Darkness, and I have the Deities and Demigods manual. We're going to crack into all three of those, maybe a couple more on the shelf over here, and talk about the way that the Pantheon has to be altered, the way it's written in third edition manuals to suit the civilization track that we have based our world with. Because it is not quite the same. It can't be. Because of the way that the race pantheon works and a way like the Knoll gods, the Orc gods, the Goblin gods, how their interaction with the species is based on the new civilization mechanic that we've introduced to the way that our world functions.
Absolutely. So we're excited to do all those cool things with you guys today. He's going to be doing some textbook reading. You're going to actually learn some D&D things today. I know it's like crazy, right? Like we actually haven't actually talked about like D&D mechanics yet. Um, I'm going to be
Not
drawing
a
some
lot
map.
of things, but
Yeah, we're going to talk about some D mechanics. I'm going to be drawing some maps today. I'm actually going to make a logo for Melandria. Period, I guess. I'm going to at least start making a logo. Because I'm a weird obsessive type, and I'm gonna want to put both a compass and some type of map name on the map, so that anyone looking at the map might know what map and world it belongs to, right? Because I'm like that. I'm like that. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do what we usually do, kind of talk with you, talk at you. We'll try to monitor all the chats as much as possible. We got a lot of them open, so if we don't get to your chat right away, forgive us. Forgive us. I mean, we're working hard at this stuff. I'm I'm magnanimous person in general, but definitely as a father. So we're minus one cam that we usually would use to jump over to the screen share model today. So we're going to be using not my favorite cam, but we're going to be using this cam today when I want to jump over to the display where we're going to be working on. So don't be mad. It's not my favorite camera. It should be the best camera. It's like the brand name 4K camera, and it's like the worst camera. Like maybe you know what? I might point the overhead down at the screen where I'm working, so you can watch me work over the overhead. How about that? Yeah, we'll do that.
okay, I have a question early. I have a question in the front.
Yeah.
All right, so on your stream setup, you have that listed under content creators, internet adventure. Is that a category that you created for this?
No, those are all things that I might have created it. I don't know. I can't remember. That was like 2 months ago.
Because if you did, that's genius. I was just curious about that. I was like, when I gave you a shout out over on my channel, it says you're currently playing content creators internet adventure and not just chatting. And I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah, yeah,
I want that too. Is that a thing?
No, that's just what I tagged this as when I first made like the Twitch stuff, right? And it's not a
Oh,
game.
I'm doing it right now. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no. It's because that's what we're doing, right? I don't really play games on the channel. Um, Everything is about content, internet creation, just doing interviews and stuff like that. So that's what mostly the channel is.
That that is that is genius. It pulled so for everybody out there in chat, let me explain why that just blew my mind, okay? So as a streamer, you need to stream the game title that you're under, right? Because the category is important to find people looking for the category that you're streaming to. However, for the most part, podcasts are all lumped into just chatting streams. But what Mr. Solutions has done here is removed the just chatting search to a different genre altogether with no saturation whatsoever.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind was because when I originally did like my searches on Twitch, I couldn't find those things, right? So I was
There
like,
is nobody. I'm going to go look at it right now. Content creator. Let's find out if there's even anyone else doing anything under that category. Internet adventures. No, there's literally no one but us. We're it. We're the only person in this entire category. Period.
that's either really bad or really awesome. So that means that people don't either know to look for it or.
Well, there's only 10 followers for the category at all, but dude, the marketing strategy for that is absolutely apparent.
Yeah, I try to be innovative and cutting edge when I do things. Like you were saying earlier, you like to be ahead of the curve on like the game stuff, right? I like to be ahead of the curve on like the market and like how the internet's going to evolve and how technology is evolving with it and how people start to see and scope the internet. You know what I mean?
We're literally, dude. We need to spread the word on this category so that more people will follow it and use it and make it a useful tool and not just random anybody using it. We need to look for other content creators to make this a viable hashtag.
Actually, I have other content creators. I'm just going to hand it out to them.
All the content creators that you know that are building content like we're doing here, that are creating content as content, they should all be using this as their genre, not just chatting, not any. They should be using this to make this a viable hashtag and category. By the way that would work is if all of the people that you send this thing, if they're all using that, and the people that are looking for this category are all looking for the same type of thing, and now they can find it far easier.
Yeah, that you're brilliant for recognizing how to market that better. We're gonna, you know what, me and you are gonna we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have just a marketing discussion at some point about how we better. Okay, and also,
As soon as I saw that when you opened up, I was like, "Oh my god!" Boom.
also, I'm gonna talk to you about some absorption, so I can both help you get more traction and more motivated. I think it's almost time to absorb you into the Soul Monkey stuff. You know what I'm saying, and get you a little bit more support on all the ends that I get support on to get the shit kind of going. You know what I mean? So,
I'm about it. I have so many ideas that I could just fill your whole company up with stuff.
I know it. I do the same thing though. So
like you got somebody sitting around that needs a task. What? Here's a pile of them.
Hey, they hate love me right now. Like for real. Like they're like, you're effing genius, but you could stop throwing work at me. But you know what? Let's get down to brass tacks today. We're always wasting time on this show, but
that's not a waste. Recognizing a marketing potential to use as the tool for the day, and using the category button as a genre specific thing, and the touch on saturation versus oversaturation, like that's an important key to marketing and to being discovered, which is a thing that Twitch has a very big problem with, where other platforms that you're streaming to today may or may not have.
So, hey, Adam, thanks for joining us on the Facebook. I see that you picked up a VR today, huh? All right. Well, I guess he's like, I got to pick one up. I guess I'm going to have to pick one up then. Whoever
VR, what up?
Yeah, I think Adar might be with us as well. Adar, thanks for joining us. Let me see. Who else we got? I don't think I got anybody in my Twitch. Let's see. I think I'm the only person in your Twitch. And yeah. So, we're gonna keep rocking it. You're gonna keep rocking with the best. Yeah. All right.
Woo.
But you know what? Go get out some books that we're gonna need today to have these discussions. Oh, look at him. He's good.
I'm already doing it, bro, man. I'm already doing it.
That's the wrong thing. We're not being right back. We're going to the screen share.
Woo! Yeah. So in the last few episodes, we had already worked up a few of the kingdoms and cities and things that we are going to be placing in our world map, and some other like high detail things about where the major parts of the world that are involved in our local community, and some other things that we've talked about. Oh man, I really like the way that screen works. It's neat. It's a very interesting screen you got there.
All right.
And then while you're working on the map stuff, I'm going to be going over a little bit about the Pantheon and the way that they've got to change a little bit, and why that's even necessary, because it's not always apparent really to everybody why that's even necessary.
Right.
Why you have to do this or why you have to do that. Well, for us, having some of the savage species be part of the civilized society that is, right? It changes some of the deities and where they are in the rankings and how they're viewed on our plane of existence. Like, take Grumsh, for example, right? Grumsh, let's go to his page. Nope, too far. Not quite far enough. Not erroneous. That's not right. There we go, Grumsh. So, according to the 3rd edition rulebook, Grumsh is the chaotic evil representative of the Orcish nation from Arsharon. He's a level 20 fighter, a level 9 cleric, a level 9 barbarian, and his divine rank is 16. Well, his divine rank at 16 is mostly because of the influence that he has among the Orcish people. If we look up the divine rank chart in the 3rd edition book, and we look up how the divine ranks work, right? You get certain divine ranks based on the followers that you have, the aspects that you, the aspects of nature and the natural order of things that you control, things that people worship you for. But a lot of their power comes directly from the worshippers of them as a deity. So rank 16 to 20 is called a greater deity. These entities may have millions of mortal worshippers, and they command respect even among other deities. The most powerful of greater deities rule over other deities, just as mortal sovereigns rule over commoners. Now, not too many deities rule over other deities. Some demigods do serve other deities because they have the same agendas or the same aspects or the things that they're interested in, the same goals to accomplish, and they work well together, and that's good for them. But the lower end of these ranks, the rank 16, maybe even the rank 17 deities, they're more like the racial deities. Corellin the Rathian, the elven deity. Moradin, the dwarven deity. Grumsh, Garl Glittergold. The deities like that, where they have an entire race behind them as the strength to their source of power. They have lots of worshippers because there are lots of this race. But not all deities have that. Some deities, like take Bahamut, right? He's divine rank 10. He's a lesser deity. Bahamut does not have an entire race of things that worship him. Most good dragons do, but in the context of population numbers, humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, orcs, goblins, gnolls, kobold, they all have much higher species population totals. So those species population totals equate directly to power for deities that are mostly defined by a race or a species of thing, where Grumsh plays in. So taking Grumsh, for example, I would venture the guess, honestly, that without the orcish petition behind him as a deity so much, and everybody's like, well, why wouldn't the orcs follow Grumsh? Well, according to Grumsh's dogma, Grumsh demands that his followers be strong and that they call the weak from their numbers. They take all the territory Grumsh thinks is rightfully theirs, which is almost everything. He tolerates no sign of friendliness from his people. Unceasing warfare is his creed, though Grumsh does not object to simple colonization if that can be arranged. Grumsh dislikes everything that is not of orc or orcish make, and he feels particularly spiteful towards elves over the matter of his eye. He feels equal malice towards the dwarves who contested with the orcs for control of the mountains and won, a state of affairs Grumsh regards as strictly temporary. Now, given Grumsh's desire to eradicate Corellin the Rathian and really push Moradin out of his kingdom, working with the civilized species of the humans, dwarves, elves, and gnomes and halflings really does not seem to function well within the dogmatic ideology of the Temple of Grumsh. Well, that being said, if civilizations are going to work together, then their religions are probably going to be more aligned than opposed. Now, this being said, I think that Grumsh especially would probably not be venerated by the majority of orcs in a society that lives in harmony, even if it is tenuous, with other species. I think it's completely counteractive to the ideals that Grumsh has, and I think that there would have probably been a schism between the savage orcs who followed Grumsh and the non-savage orcs who chose to go a different way. Now, what do I think that way would be? Honestly, there are a few things that could have taken the place of Grumsh as a deity for the more civilized orcs. I think that Cord probably would be a decent replacement. I think
Okay,
that
so I kind of want to interrupt this conversation a little bit.
sure.
So what if religion just wasn't a major thing now because of, well, I guess we need it for clerics. Never mind.
Yeah, in a fantasy world where it functions on an entire scope of magic, it's sort of important.
It's crazy. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I was thinking more from a storytelling point. Then I remembered clerics, and I was like, oh, they suck ass, but they're awesome. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you have a class of things that can literally emulate every other class of things, it's what it is.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there thinks that I can't do that, go ahead and challenge me to a cleric to imitate any class, and I'll show you how it works. Maybe better than the class that you thought it should be. But I think that Chord probably makes good sense for maybe all of the species that are moving towards civilization away from savagery. Mostly because he's a chaotic good deity with strength, athletics, sports, brawling, and courage as the portfolio that he goes for. He does have a chaos, a good, a luck, and a strength domain, where Grumsh is chaos, evil, strength, and war. So it does balance. It's like Chord is the good version of what Grumsh strives for, and with Chord's portfolio, his dogma is that Chord loves physical challenges and contests. He promotes non-lethal sports as a method for resolving disputes among his followers. His teachings say that the strong and fit should lead the weaker, and that bravery is the greatest quality anyone can have. Ruler and citizen alike, everyone should scorn cowardice, says Chord. Now, I could see a missionary-style invasion of Chord followers moving out into the savage wildlands and showing the way of Chord to a bunch of orcs. I could see how that would change the progression and how they would go about the fight against Delic and his undead forces, and how it could spread a different dogma that would cause a schism in a lot of the savage species and make for a natural storyline plot, like a plot hook for the way we build the world. If Chord was a bigger deity than Grumsh and several of the other racial deities, would kind of add a little bit of a hook on the balance to good and evil too.
This is gonna give us a way to introduce a human like threat to what is happening, right? So now we can deal with cults and zealots, things that they still want to adhere to the
Oh
god.
man,
Yeah,
I'm sure that there are those guys that are out there that are like, the old ways are the only ways, and you're a heretic.
exactly,
There's going to be those things, and that adds for story elements and adventure hooks and all sorts of things down the road. Even in the early writing end, like, those are tools that we can utilize later to build onto the story that we're presenting.
Absolutely. So I've been drawing a map. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been
I've been watching.
I've been off here drawing random shapes, random shapicles for the map.
Random shapicles.
Yeah, I'm having a day where I just want to say some really crazy stuff. Because I've been watching the map, I don't know who's watching. No one is really watching, so it's no big deal. I don't have anyone to talk to. But
I'm here.
You're here. I'm here. But how I've been doing the map is, I've been drawing these objects mostly on separate layers. I messed up and put the little islands on the same layer with something else, but it's okay. It's no big deal. And first I drew them like really big, and then I transformed them down and made them smaller and workable. The ones I wanted to make really big, so I can kind of get a better idea what shape I want them to be. And then kind of try to do some natural Pangea stuff here on the map, right? I don't know if you noticed, like, they should fit together if there wasn't erosion and stuff. So, I'm thinking over here is all swampy. That's why all the inlet portlet stuffs, right? And okay. So where are we feeling like major kingdoms lie? Like, I'm feeling like right here and like right here, like in this area right here.
Some of the lines are very light. I'm having a hard time seeing them.
Okay.
Is there a contrast option? Can we make that?
Yeah, give me
can we make that
give me a
contrast
second. I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah.
Actually, let me just do this. Let me just make the layer that I'm going to want to work on anyway. How about that? So, hang out with me now while I get out an ink pen. That's not 700 pixels wide, but more like 20. That sounds pretty sexy.
700's good though. You like it, right?
Oh, 700 is so hot. And I'll come back and go over the lines better later. But let's get these outlines,
Rough drafted out.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Let's show you the shapes that I'm showing you with. All right, let's see. And this is like a whole bunch of water inlets, but I'm not gonna do those with this pen. That's water inlet. And here's another water inlet. And, stuff.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't tell how much space was around those islands or how much was going on. Like I wasn't sure what was going on there.
Right.
It was hard.
I got you. So we got some islands here. This. I want a water heavy world. Imagine these are, continents as big as ours are, I guess, right? Give or take. So, okay, we got some North and South Pole action. We got some major continent action. I never understood when people make D maps where it's like one giant landmass and that is it. Like,
Yeah, no, me either. I always do have like some fairly large ass ocean space though. It's usually right in the middle too. Like normally, my middle map is like all open. Like if that one big continent in the center there was just gone,
right.
that would be more like the map that I would make.
I usually do that as well, but I actually want easy traversal of the map. But I do want what if
I think I find the large open water space a good interesting place to drop a point of interest.
well, this is ocean as far as they're concerned, right? So, like to scale, it will take more than, a day to get from like probably this point
It looks like I just hop over there and like,
right.
skip the creek.
But that's not how maps actually work, right? So and at some point
Wait,
we're gonna
what?
have to get a grid
It's
on
not?
this map and we're gonna have to, do a what is it, 1 meter space is what is how does that work in D travel?
It's one brick. I guess it depends on your scale. Normally, it's in 10-foot increments or 5-foot increments on the small map, and then it's like 1 hex is whatever you decide it wants to be. You can make it 1 mile or 10 miles or 100 miles. You can make whatever you want.
Well, we'll have to get a grid on here, figure out the size of the grid spaces, and then do that stuff. And
I think mostly once we get the cities figured out, then we determine how long we want it to take to get from point A to point B, and we run our scale on that.
yeah, that seems fair. That seems fair. Now I tell you what, I don't want to do the obvious thing and put the monsters over here.
But yeah,
I don't want to do the obvious thing and put them over here, right? I would rather put them on like a major continent. Like
I think honestly the middle looks really good because so in my head, right, their islands would make for a really good fishing economy. The central landmass here, if this is like a global scale and we're assuming that it functions like ours does, the middle would be the temperate zone where good crops and constant temperatures would be like more stable year round. So they'd have good agriculture and good things like that. They'd have good forest
so here's the
ability
deal,
for large
right?
prey and things.
And how you so in the past, considering how things would have worked, it seems like humans and elves and the like would have had access to this type of area first, before the war, right? Now,
Probable.
where I'm kind of at is like, let's put the Monster Kingdom like here or like here, right? Like this is gonna still be good fertile land, but not prime land, right?
Ooh, I do like the back ridge of that one continent. Looks like it should have like this big mountain range that just runs down the end of it.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly where we're gonna put a mountain range. So yes. Um,
yeah, I
but
like that.
yeah, no. So and honestly, like I want to put a mountain range here, and I'm like, let's put the dwarves here. I'm spelling that wrong. DW.
The dwarfs,
The dwarfs. Let's put the dwarfs
the
here.
dwarfs over here.
I'm like, let's make this I forgot what we called it, but we're gonna call for now. We're gonna call it the Monster Nation. This pen is too big to write with. That is part of what is going on. Okay. So I want to make this a stretch of desert, I think.
I think in the center makes sense. I think the further down it goes, a marsh or a
Right.
cold desert probably makes more sense.
I'm thinking when we get down here, like a sparse forest, right? So like, a couple tree situations, and
Like a
then
savanna?
yeah, like a savanna, right? And then we come into like some grasslands, right? So we got some small tree forest. We come into some savanna like grasslands. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking with this. I'm thinking this is this is rainforesty, this area they live in, right? I actually okay, so I wrote a city in Crossword Lovers that I just love, and for whatever reason, the Monster Nation reminds me of the city that I wrote in this book. So I wrote a city that's just full of adventurers and
Woo!
mercenaries and people who just really don't want to live inside the bounds of the two major superpowers in the world. Um, and they have like this round, defensive, large walled city, right? That's in the middle of this rainforest where what they do is their main, trade is monster hunting and getting the materials from those creatures and trading those with the kingdoms that they don't really want to deal with. So um I kind of want to do that with them. I'm all down for kingdom in the mountain with the dwarfs. Like I just really don't see them doing nothing else. um I'm like, this is what I feel about the elves. I feel like over here is exactly where they want to be.
Where?
Right here.
See, I had a different idea about that.
Okay, where do you think they should be?
I don't know about the elves, but I was thinking that that island looked like a really, really interesting place for a seafaring race of minotaurs.
A seafaring race of men. That's very specific.
Yep.
How about here?
The other island at the bottom down there?
This island right here. So this island is bigger than it looks like on the map, right?
Okay.
Okay, so one, you're seeing this at 33%. Okay. So this is the map at 100%.
Well, I'm not so worried about the size of the landmass. I'm not concerned about that.
Well, I'm just saying this is probably a perfect place to put some Minotaur, seafaring Minotaur people.
My concern with that space is that means that all of that land around there is in danger of Viking Minotaur raids.
I mean, but why not, right?
Right, just something to think about.
But
That's why I was thinking like that one island way off in the back over there made less threat to surrounding people.
no, but we want threat to surrounding people, right?
Yeah.
That's the part of it, right?
Or
So
at some point in history, sure.
no, like we want, like let's say there's town A here, right?
Well, I mean,
And
the Minotaurs a long time ago could have been a scary pirates, and now they're just merchants that have the best ships.
exactly, right? But still, right? Let's say we still have some going back to the earlier conversation, um, people, creatures who think the old ways are better, right? We have a bunch of bandit minotaur seafarers that are pirates, right? And they are from this island A, but they're living on island C, launching pirate raids, right? That's real world danger that we can add to any adventurers in town A.
Hello, hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, welcome joining the show. We got it. Who we got? I gotta, man, it's so hard to draw and watch the chats and everything at the same time. Like, yo, like, but yeah, welcome to the show. But yeah, so like just because some of them are doing, you know, whatever and living like normal law abiding citizens doesn't mean that they all are. And that's true with the humans and anyone else, right? We're going to have bandit humans and, the whole nine. So we get to paint a wide gamut of individuals in this, both human, elves, dwarf, monster, whatever. We get to show them all as, good, evil, chaotic, neutral, the whole
Across
thing.
the
Yeah,
spectrum, yeah.
exactly. That's the beauty of kind of this game is we get to play with the idea that any intelligent creature has the capacity to make up their mind about what side of the world they want to be on, right?
Exactly.
So, I'm not a. I think okay. So honestly, let's see. Let's relook at this. You know what? Let's do this instead. Let's add some more islands to over here. Right? So let's put like a bunch of islands like right off the coast of this monster nation. And this way we can play with the idea of like aquatic monsters and seafaring monsters being closer to home,
Right.
right? Um and then all right, I want to make two major human kingdoms, okay? So I want to make human kingdom 1. And then I over down, so I'm gonna put this like right, literally like right there. And then I want to make Human Kingdom 2 right here.
Why do I want to make that whole thing a part of the reason that this whole thing works? You see what you did there with those islands in the middle? It almost makes me feel like that's a divine righteous strike to the very plane of existence spot right there.
Kinda is. And we can do a whole bunch of settlement and colonization of humans, monsters, all that around these islands. We can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. So, yeah, I am feeling like mad forestation over here. So I'm all like, this whole area right here is forest. I'm totally feeling that. This is desert. Okay. These are North and South poles, so both these areas are Arctic deserts. I want to put people here though, or creatures,
But for sure.
but they're both Arctic regions. Okay. This is the swamp lands. Okay, I want to put. All right, so have this. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that space right there is probably more like New England forest, all deciduous and pines. And then the center one is more like temperate forest, more rainforest, jungly area.
Okay, so this part up here is definitely going to be like what you're talking about, deciduous pine forest, right? We're gonna put the we're gonna put the gnomes in here. Yeah, we're gonna put the gnomes in there.
Shit, the halflings too, maybe the tabaxi.
Oh yeah, we're gonna actually let them split
Yeah, they have.
tieflings and
Yeah,
halfling. Yeah, all right, that's actually perfect for both of them, right? Um, we got dwarves. I'm feeling the elves right here. It's a large island, right? It's gonna be a foresty island, right? Like straight up forest stuff. And they could be isolated and doing the stuff that elves like to do in isolation.
right.
Right?
No, that makes
They're
sense.
protected by the mountain range. That's the dwarves' home, and thus that closest magical cousin. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna feel a level of comfort hiding, all the way around the southern tip or northern edge of this landmass away from everybody else. Especially the distance that it puts them from humans, right? So like they're close to all their magic cousins up here, and they have a big divide between them and the monsters and the humans, right? Um, we're gonna we're gonna feel like I'm missing like an important race out of D.
Elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, humans, almost all the monsters. Um, um,
Yeah, like I don't. Maybe I'm tripping.
no, that's all the major ones. Elves, dwarves, humans, halfling, gnome, orc, half orc.
Well, I feel like making over here where I wrote town A. I feel like making this human settlement, monster settlement. I mean, so I feel like giving them another foothold in the world.
I I actually kind of liked having the two human kingdoms because they don't have to be. Oh wait, that one's over there though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not getting rid of the human kingdoms. I just wanna add another monster foothold over here. So
What if
like a settlement.
what if it wasn't the settlement so much as like a biome that humans didn't really find attractive, but that lots of monsters did, like a volcano
No, I got a better
or
idea.
something like that.
No, I got a better idea. Watch this.
Which makes even more sense that the Minotaurs are in the islands right off the coast there.
Yeah. Merchant Kingdom, right? This is where
Makes
everybody.
more sense that the deviant Minotaurs and the other cutthroat pirate deal is right down the way too.
Yeah, and then all races would naturally be here. So this would actually be a really good jump off point for almost all adventures, right? Because you could pick any race, and because the money's here, everyone would be here,
Right.
right? So, you know, that's a thing. Merchant kingdoms, standalone
I
merchant
almost
kingdoms
feel
is a
like
thing.
I almost feel like they would probably want to be more the centralized one rather than the one way over there.
They got what they got. They're a merchant kingdom.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Um, but they're close
Interesting.
to the halflings and the gnomes for trade, right? Especially the gnomes for
Right.
trade. They are right across from this major human kingdom. They're off here for all these islands for fishing and that type of trade. It's actually a good place to be.
Yeah.
Actually, the better place to be would be right here.
Depending.
This is easy access. This is
I
easy
mean,
access to the
yes.
waterways, both way in all directions, right? Like this would be
But
the
I feel like that kingdom on that big central island would probably have wanted to control that waterway.
well, honestly, this kingdom on this big central island is probably going to want to control this entire waterway. To be honest with you,
Right.
I mean,
So I don't know if the Merchant Kingdom would be able to make its way up to that peninsula or not.
let's assume that there's either a deal worked out or they're cool enough for right now. Okay, so everybody needs merchant. Everybody needs a merchant city to make goods move, right?
Right, but if I'm that kingdom on that center island, and I know that everybody needs that, and I know that this waterway between that peninsula and this other shoreline is the only way to get over there from the other continents except going all the way around my continent, dude.
Yeah, but they
That
gotta
makes
fight.
that peninsula
They would have
so
to fight three
important.
different nations to secure that waterway.
Maybe.
They would. They would have to fight the gnomes and the
I'm
halflings
just
and the merchant kingdom.
Well, the gnomes and halflings wouldn't care because
The gnomes
they
can
are
they make their
connected
money
by
off the
land. They
trade.
could just go. Yeah, but the gnomes and halflings can make the connection in the north. They don't have to have that waterway.
I mean, but by your logic, this kingdom here is going to want to control this waterway as well. Right? Like,
I think I'm just mostly concerned with that center path from the monster nation to the merchants. You know what I mean? In the
yeah.
war before, that human kingdom probably wanted to control that waterway to make sure that they were getting their share of whatever was coming through it.
I
Just
don't
look
know. Yeah,
at
I feel what you're
the
saying.
land mass.
I don't know if we got to make it a big deal. Like, we don't actually have to make it an issue in the world, right?
No, we don't at all. I was just thinking, like, from that kingdom's perspective, that may be an agenda like super serial.
And it might be, and it could be politics that we can add to the story ultimately, right? Like,
For sure.
control over the waterway or whatever, right? So, that's nothing or everything depending on how you really look at it, but
Yep.
it's easy enough to add is my point, I guess, right? Like, so that's not a big deal. Right? Little kingdom icon.
That's just my brain having ideas about stuff.
I feel you. And we can honestly develop that as it goes along, right? As we start to write for each section, right? And we start to break these down into like, these whatever these surrounding towns are gonna be. So, like surrounding town A, surrounding town B, surrounding town C, surrounding town D, right? Then so like A, B, C, D. then we can figure out what all of these towns do, and all that stuff. We go politic crazy. Um,
I'll do it too.
yeah, me too. I love world politics. It's like the best thing.
I mean, it can be.
Can be. Hey, I don't know who I got watching the show, but welcome to the show on Twitch. Let's see.
Woo!
Go ahead,
Welcome
give
to
a
the show,
shout out.
guys.
Let me know who you are, what you're doing. I love having you guys here. Talk to me about what's going on. We're doing a little map making. I know it looks crazy right now, but this is just a draft map. I got to get my ideas out on paper, digital paper first, anyway. But we kind of got a world going on here. I'm starting to see what political games we can play around here.
And I think looking at the Pantheon list for the General D Pantheon, I think that there are a couple of deities that probably drop a few divine ranks, lose a couple of those divine rank powers, and a couple of deities that go up. And I think that Bakob actually has to go up above and maybe sit at the top of the Pantheon. As a deity of balance and knowledge, the balance of the civilizations becoming more civilized and trading has got to play a major factor into the portfolio power that he wields.
You are absolutely correct. And you know what? I love you, and I'm gonna let you work on all that because you are so much more in tune with what is going on with the deities in the system than I am. Like, for real.
Yeah, I think the racial deities and like the majority of the evil deities that are just evil gods to be evil gods probably hold less sway on this plane than other places of normal breakdowns. And I think that really does lead Cord and Bakob to get a good bump up. Maybe Alitamara and Palor also, but maybe not. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm positive, actually.
But definitely Cord and Bakob would get up boosts on their divine ranks. Just for the shift in worshiper power numbers alone, I think it is ridiculous the amount of power that they would gain from the number of followers that they would get in a scenario like this compared to the normal breakdowns of populace.
Well, all right.
That is super cute.
Isn't it? I'm gonna do some.
But we are about at our halfway mark. You ready to do our intermission?
Oh man, are we really at the halfway mark?
It is 3:30 almost.
That's crazy. Well, we did start late, so that kind of makes sense.
We're a little late, yeah. But I will need to be ending at 5 as I am moving a friend of mine into a storage unit tonight. And yeah, but we could take a short intermission here, and then we'll be back in a few.
Yeah.
And we will make, I guess, he will be working on the logo for Melandria. We'll be working on some more map things, and I have some other points to make about the Pantheon, especially some of the racial deities and how it would affect the way that the world functions, and what those changes in divine ranks would mean for some of the deities, both the ups and the downs. And I could talk about how those would change the implicit powers of those deities as well.
Perfect. I don't know how this did that, but whatever. Why didn't you go down? Go down.
That's what he said. I mean,
that's what she said.
well, I guess. So anyway, guys, We will be right back here in a few minutes. Stick around for the rest of Wayfarer's Guide and our logo intro and some more map work with some portfolio discussion and some other tools to use in your passions when we come back.
And more of what he and she said, apparently. So, yeah, we'll be back after the intermission. Check us out. We're back. We're back. We're live back on the show.
Do your worst.
It's a long break, I know, but we work hard, so sometimes we gotta take a long break. I don't know. We're back. We're back. We're live.
Yeah, I had some
Long
kid
break,
stuff,
I know,
and my kids
but
are getting in their last week of schoolwork, so they got some makeup things to do and some stuff to catch up to get their grades right. So I'm trying to keep them on task with that. It's not as easy as I'd like it to be.
nah. Good parenting never is. So pat yourself on the back, keep rocking and rolling, and take care of them kids.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were in the middle of doing some what would deity structure look like in the world that we've decided to map out, and doing a little bit of logo editing for Melandria. So we're gonna probably switch back to that in a minute. But since we're just coming back from the break, I figured it's a good time to, kind of be like, yo, what's up, audience? How you feeling? If you're out there, talk to us, let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know. I got a new show coming on tonight. I got a new show. It'll be everywhere that this show is right now. So it'll be on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. I got a show called This is called The Show, an African American Discussion. Right? So if you watch my Friday night show, I do a show called Mr. Solutions Live On. I've changed it to Live On. It used to be Live on Facebook. I've changed it to Live On because I'm doing it everywhere now. But I host a show where I talk about community change, and I do tackle a topic that we could really negatively approach and complain about. But what I do rather is try to have a discussion about how we can actually resolve what is going on with those issues instead of just complaining about them. I'm going to have a similar discussion starting on Monday nights at 8 Mountain Time, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 6 Pacific, depending on, I guess, what time of the year we're in. And it's going to be a similar show, but it's going to be about the African American community. I would love for you guys to join the discussion. It is not exclusive to African Americans. We want everyone to join the discussion. And join me tonight at my time at 8, Mountain Time at 8. I'm gonna be hosting it, or my partner in hosting for this evening will be Julian Long, who does actually a really good show already that he does live with a pretty decent audience, and it's called Storytime with Julian. He reads books by African American authors, and short stories. The stories are really good. His reading voice is amazing. So check that out. You can find him on Facebook and YouTube. Just look up Storytime with Julian. You'll find that. But we're gonna do a show tonight. We're gonna do a show every Monday night. And This is called The Show. And we want you to join us. So I figured I'd plug myself real quick, and boom. Because I spent a lot of time plugging everybody else. I don't know if you guys watching, but there's a little video running, on my live when we was on the break, and it had a whole bunch of suggestions for other creators and content creators that I would like you to go check out. So if you were watching that and you've seen some of those, I want you to go check those out. I got a new YouTube show coming up next week. I did my first interview for a show where I interview creators about their projects and how they got passionate about them and how they do them. And I'm going to want you guys to tune in for the new show. It won't be a live stream. It's an actual recorded show. We did the recording yesterday. We're going to edit it. I'm going to edit it to this week and get it out by next Monday. So you guys get ready for that. Yeah. You got anything new and exciting coming up, Dragon? I know we talked about something that we probably got something coming up.
We do. I am actually working on a schedule for this whole week to do things. I want to get back into doing this on a more regular basis. I haven't been in a while, and I want to be more regular with it. I want to start doing things, get back to content creation and doing doing the streaming thing. I've been wanting to. I've been struggling with my own issues for a little while, and I really think that if I just stop worrying about all that other stuff and get back to doing some normal shit for me, that I'll get back to a normal space in my head, and I think that's what I probably just need to focus on.
You know what? You're right. Okay, so everyone on that watches the show, this show here knows that you inspired me to start streaming, right? Um, and I do 4 shows a week currently. I'm adding a 5th show tonight, right? And the engagement that I've gotten is really, really amazing, right? Like just getting in front of the camera, get in front of the people with what you have, what you can bring to the table, just instantly starts to push whatever you're trying to accomplish, into the next dimension. So, I'm getting hit up for people. It's like, hey, I need help with mixing my podcast. I want logo designs. I want, character designs, all that kind of stuff is coming through.
Especially for an artistic creator like you, getting your content out there and letting people see what you do generates more of that business. If you never put out artwork, but you were like, yeah, I could do artwork, well, nobody's ever going to hit you up for artwork if they don't see you actively doing artwork.
And of course I know that, right? And that's one of the things I've been preaching to the rest of the creators I work with. But we were also being reserved because we didn't want to come out half baked with, with a product that wasn't fully ready to launch or that type of noise. The live with the live stream as a business, what the live stream gives you, right, is if you're doing it consistently and you're mixing up the content that you're putting out, okay, and you're appealing to different audiences and whatnot, then you can get out there, you can entertain an audience, get them mentally prepared for the idea that you have some type of, product that you want them to ingest, and that transition of trust in your product becomes so much easier because you're consistent in a product that you already deliver, right? So I've been streaming. What has it been, like 2 months maybe that we've been streaming?
This is episode 6.
Yeah, so
and we skipped 1 week, so less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months. So I've been regularly streaming essentially 4 times a week for 2 months now, and almost 2 months. And
your engagement numbers, at least on Twitch, look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. I'm pretty proud of my engagement numbers on Twitch. They are growing kind of rapidly for a new Twitch streamer. Real.
Well, so when I first got affiliate, right, I was actually around Twitch and like being involved in communities for a year before I ever streamed. And that gave me the boost I needed to go affiliate in 3 weeks. You have built from 0 in less than 2 months, and you're almost to hit all of the affiliate markers. Whether you take the affiliate spot or multi-stream is irrelevant.
Right.
To hit all the markers for the affiliate benchmark and to get the invite as fast as you've worked that far is impressive.
Thank you. Honestly,
I know you're not there yet. You still have some followers to get and a few things, but your average
it's moving in the right direction.
You've hit all the right number benchmarks that they're looking for, and it's definitely moving in the right direction for you.
And honestly, I'm doing the same thing that you said that you did. I already have a community of creators and people that I that I deal with, right? And I've been giving away free marketing on my streams for them, right? Like, last week or 2 weeks ago, we did the S&P show, and the whole S&P show was just a plug show, right? All we did was talk about other creators and what they had going on, right? We barely mentioned ourselves. We just was like, we want you to go check out this. You were on the plug show if you didn't catch it, right?
I didn't catch it.
No.
You guys do those Friday and Saturday really cool shows that I want to be a part of, and I'm at work Fridays and Saturdays.
Dang it, that's just horrible. But yeah, no, you are.
Like I get off between 9 and 10 o'clock on both of those days. It's like, dang it, they're already done by the time I get home. and cleaned up and get the kids in bed and stuff going on.
But no, you were on the plug show. We you know,
Woo, thank you.
Of course, we urge people to come. You were on a little video that was running on the break. So if you didn't catch the video on the break, you're on the video as well. So you know,
I'm in marketing advertising. Look at that.
Yeah. So actually, all right. So for those of you who don't really know what I actually do, I guess, like, because I don't really think I ever made it clear on the show. But for those of you who watch this show and don't know what I do, I know Mel through a mutual friend of ours, Christopher Paul, who is my
CP,
CP, who is my business partner, in what is actually Solutions LLC. Okay, so you see all the Soul Monkey Productions and the Soul Monkey Publications and all that's like storefront for what we actually do, which is a marketing. Well, okay, let me step back. It is a place to nurture content creation and then market that content. Right. So we don't really look for marketing deals. Like we're not like an ad agency, right? But we're a place where a creator like Mel, right, can be like, look, I'm serious about content creation. I want to brand myself. I want to market what I'm doing, and I want the push of other creators to help me do that, right? So
it's more like a collaborations marketing firm.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And what we do, because we don't take any money up front, right? We don't ask for any money up front. We don't charge you for, coming on or, services, unless you just don't want to deal with us and you want to pay for services, right? So, yeah,
there's always a market,
Right. There's a market for that. And if you don't want to, collaborate as a creator, then yes, we do have services available for you, that we'll charge you for, sure. But that's not really our goal. Our goal is to get internet and content creators under a singular banner and have the team that I do have to market and promote people. So like if you do watch the S&P show on Saturday nights, I do it with another mutual friend of all of ours, Tim, and Timothy J. Snyder, who has written some great books, but he's also the head of marketing at Solutions. So, I have a team of people that help to market your products and do the social media stuff and all that cool stuff. So, that's what we actually do. So, I did use that same community of, people that I work with and people I support, and I added more people and I started, dealing with more creators. And that's how I got those numbers up so quickly like that. It is about community is the point, right? If you're not engaging with other creators, you're not, talking about them, sharing their work, tuning in, chatting, leaving comments on their stuff, then no one's going to engage with you either. So, you have to be active in the community so that you can get engagement numbers, right? And then they'll start sharing to their own community, and then, you get more followers, and that's how organic growth actually happens, right? And that's what people don't understand about the internet. They believe that, you put out a video, it's a good video, and then, people just watch it because it was a good video. And really, if you're not building with a community of creators, it doesn't matter what you're doing, right? Like if it's graphic novels or you're an animator or you're doing movies, it just doesn't matter, right? You have to be running in the same circles of people who are doing the same things you're doing so that you can all get to the same place. So that's where the growth is coming from. I'm totally, really appreciative of the current growth that's been happening.
Yeah, no, it's been an awesome first step out for you guys to jump onto the Twitch platform like this. It's been really cool.
I love my Facebook people. I have a strong audience of viewership from Facebook from like 2 years ago. And they missed me. They literally missed me on Facebook, like both just making the posts that I make on Facebook and my live feeds. So I am mixing up some of what they expect. Right, they don't expect things like the Wayfarers guys, so like this is not like a huge hit on Facebook. But I'm
It's a
hoping.
very niche kind of thing,
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
and that's okay.
And I'm okay with it. And one, I enjoy the show, right? So, if people start following it or really pick it up or whatever, it's irrelevant. I really kind of hope they do because, like I said, we were saying there's gonna be a game that's gonna, follow up with this, and we're gonna need viewers to be interactive with us so you guys can play the game with us, right? So, you know,
Exactly.
we do hope that you guys do get interactive with this show. But we'll figure out what's going on, right? No big deal. So we're gonna keep doing the show regardless. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, uh, but yeah, me and Dragon do have a Wednesday show coming up. Um, we're just gonna do like a two crowns, what grinds my gears, what bites my bullet kind of show. Um, I personally have been steering away from complainative type shows, right? So, a lot of my original content from where I have my audience was, pretty much me getting on a soapbox and ranting about some social injustice, right? So,
There's enough of it. It's not like we don't have any.
right. So I'm sure actually my audience will miss me getting up on my soapbox and ranting about social injustice because that's actually what my audience tunes into me for, right? Like that's what they know me for. So
I think that's where everybody kind of tunes in on me now too. Like I moved more away from the Pokemon content and the gamer stuff to political commentary, social injustice, things like that, and actual people and society problems. I know last week we went into kind of the economy issue and profiteering margins and things like that on the show, and that really set up for kind of where we wanted to take that whole idea. And I was doing the Dragon Train podcast for a few months with Mr. Runaway Train, and that was going really well. We had a lot of really good commentary going on for that show. And then his job took him away from the time slot that we are filling currently. And and now we're going to go ahead and start on a new endeavor for the same kind of idea.
Now, you know what? Okay, so I've learned some things over the past few weeks about mixing streams, right? Like how to capture, like, okay, one, I have a very powerful PC. So
Yes, you do.
I can run like 3 or 4 video chat services at the same time and then mix all those in the OBS and then broadcast it live with no problem.
And it doesn't hurt you, so that's good for your setup.
Right. So I've learned that I can mix streams. Like I have the ability and the capacity to do it. And you were talking about doing that fatherhood stream, right? And
the Padre Powwow?
Yeah, and I'm like, what is up with that? How do I either get on it if it's going on, or how do we start it if it ain't started? Because I'm gonna be real with you. I know so many good dads, right, that either need a permanent spot on the show or they need to be guest rotated out on the show. I mean, like,
well, see, and that's the thing is, like, I know a lot of good dads too, and I know a lot of people that have a lot of opinions, and I almost want to make it like The View, where we have a general panel of dads.
So
but then it's
that's
like,
why I brought up the fact that I can mix video feeds.
Well, and then it's like, well, how many people and who, and how do you decide who's going to be in every week, and how do you get extra people, or how do you do something about that? Like there's things that we
I'm thinking like 4 dudes, right? I'm thinking like 4 dads, right? That are set up the stream already, right? Want to have the conversation, right? Because I'm gonna be real, right? I don't really want to stream with people who are like streaming from their phone or like, you know, really not like, you know what I'm saying? Like streaming's not their main thing, but they want to have the conversation, right? I want them to both want to have the conversation and
Yes, you are, Tom. And you actually, Tom, when I made Padre Powwow, I was hanging out in your chat a lot, and we were talking about stuff about this, and you were going through stuff with your kid and your ex-wife and all the things going on. And I remember thinking about having you wanting to be on my show as a panelist at one point. You are definitely one of the streamers that I thought about when I came up with the idea. So yes, absolutely. The Padre Powwow idea that I came up with was 2 years ago that I started putting it together, and there are lots of people who have shown interest in the show. I think it's been the most requested thing that I've ever thought about doing, ever talked about doing, and I have not gotten around to putting in the effort to make that show really solid and consistent. I think that it's a thing that we definitely,
now
you know,
here's what I propose, right? Instead of doing the Wednesday night slot as just a grind my gears situation, let's just start the Padre Powwow. We'll get other we'll get other streamers as the show goes on. But if I'm gonna come off as complaining about a topic, I would like it to be focused.
no, and that's right, and that's where the My Two Crowns show came in for me. Was that I wanted to have a place to make commentary about things that I didn't like. I didn't appreciate about society or about economy or about politics or about people in general. You know
Well,
what I mean?
then let's do them both. But we have to do the Padre Powwow. Like we got to put that on the schedule.
We need it on a prime schedule
Yeah. Okay.
because I think
Yes.
it's something that a majority of people want to be involved in and want to pay attention
Uh,
to and see what we talk about
now
because there's outlets like that.
I know. Well, I listened to your argument earlier about the timing of this slot, you know, and reaching the max amount of people around the world or whatever, right? But the real deal is all my best shows are evening shows, right? The talk show and I talked about this with the guy Julian that I'm, doing a show with tonight, right? The talk
Yeah,
show
guys in
for
their dinner breaks or people watching before they go to
right.
bed or.
The talk show format is best for early in the morning or late at night. You know what I mean? What does grind your
I
gears?
feel you,
Women be
Tom. I feel you.
shopping. Women be shop. Okay, you know what, Tom? I want to be like, I feel that joke, but I be shopping, dude. Like, I be spending money. Like,
Give me.
every woman that's ever been with me has been like, "What is your general problem?"
No, seriously. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, no. I'm the one that spends the money in the relationships. I got a spending habit. Like, I'm a whole entire problem. I'm a whole mortgage loan a year by myself. No, I'm just playing. I ain't that expensive. But yeah, no, I'd be like, ooh, that thing is shiny. Your boy wants it. Like, I want it right now. But I don't even know where Dragon went, but that's okay. We're still in the building. Um, I have like 7 Amazon wishes full of different things I want from different. Yes, me too. Like my survival gear wish list and my upgraded audio visual cart. Like, I want stuff, Tom. I want lots and lots of stuff. Like, okay, I have lots of stuff too. So that's the other thing, right? So sometimes I'll be like, I just want this thing for absolutely no reason. I'm literally never going to use it. I've already have like X amount of things that are similar to it. Like right now, I want to get a Remarkable. I don't need a Remarkable. I have an iPad. I have a pen tablet display. I don't write notes. I don't know why I want a remarkable, but I want a remarkable so bad. Like really, really, really bad, Tom. Like really want that remarkable. Probably gonna buy it. And it's probably gonna sit at the edge of my bed and I'm never gonna use it. But I want it. Oh, yeah, no. I only wear Apple Watch. I have a jewelry box full of watches that I never wear anymore because my Apple Watch is too dope. You have a stream one. You have a stream one of what? You got a stream one, my Forerunner one, my one from my what Remarkables, or just like wish list. Oh no, yeah, no, stupid wish list. I forgot. I forgot we were talking about those a minute ago. Man, I want stuff. Like, and I don't have enough money. And that's why I need you all to support my streams. Because I want stuff and I don't have enough money. And if you help me get money, I can get more stuff. So, you know, I want to help Tom fulfill his wish list. I want to have enough money to help people fulfill their wish list. So, you know, support my stream so I can have money. Support your wish list. Dragon Scaling says, kapow! I want to support his wish list too. Support my stream so I can get more money so I can support your wish list. It'd be dope. Let's see. Nope, don't have nobody watching except for myself, I think. Oh, wait, no. That's not really just trading money, right? So they get entertained for free. We get advertisement money that they didn't give us, and then we buy them stuff because they supported the stream. It's not trading money. But, you know, I really just want some streaming money. So how about that? Let me just make it real plain. Steven wants some streaming money. Or sugar mama is fine. I don't necessarily have to have a sugar daddy, I guess. But anyone, I guess, that wants to just throw money at me, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. You wanna spoil your boy? You wanna spoil me? You wanna make me your sugar person? You wanna sweeten me up? I'll take it. Looking for all look. You know what? Tell you what. You know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been putting my Patreon anywhere, right? If I'm really looking for a sugar person, I need to get on this Patreon noise, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta get on this Patreon noise. Just start begging for money like everybody else. Hey, he's back.
I have returned.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, just had a thing I needed to take care of.
All right, all right.
No, it was not a potato. I'm good, thanks.
How did I
So I
forget
was
the
like, it was a
password
potato.
for
Is that what you had to
this?
take care of? I was like, no, it wasn't a potato.
That's a weird question.
Not from my son. It's a normal question from my son.
Oh, you might
Seems
you might want to talk to
seems
him
about right.
about what a normal question is.
I mean, if that's the question I got to deal with rather than some of the other things he could be asking me, it's fine.
I guess.
It's perfectly fine.
I hate accounts that I don't use because I will straight up forget the freaking password.
Yeah, that's why I try to limit the number of things that I try and use to the functional ones and then kick everything else to the curb.
Well, nah, I just set
I
up the
try.
Patreon I don't know, like 2, 3, I don't know, like 4 weeks ago. I set up the Patreon. So I just haven't logged back into it or even really set up the Patreon yet, but I really need to get on there and take care of that. I really need to get on the Patreon and take care of that. Probably what I'm gonna do after this show.
Yes, probably.
Yeah. Gotta get the Patreon rocking. All right. So enough chitter chatter stuff. Let's get back to work.
So, in looking at um the deity rankings and the portfolio stuff, right? The
Yeah. But
so
real quick, before we get into that, let me tell the people what I'm actually using here. Um,
yeah, do that. Tell them about the program.
yeah, this is Inkscape. And this is a vector-based program. You can use it for a lot of things, actually. But today we are using it for my favorite thing, typography. Well, okay, typography is my least favorite thing. Let me not actually lie to you all.
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna have people thinking that you like to do it.
I do not. However, Inkscape is my favorite thing to use for typography. Let's say that. It is super manipulatable. It's really great for lettering and whatnot. So we're gonna do a lands of here, and we're gonna take this and shrink it.
I actually like that font.
This is called. I know you would like this font. It's called Allen Winches.
Yep.
I picked it.
Oh, is this the same one that you used on the Wayfarer's guide?
It is the same one I used on the Wayfarer's guide.
Nice.
Right. Because consistency matters.
It does.
It friggin' does.
See that, guys? This is another tool tip for you. When you have a font for a show and you want to use that font everywhere, like if you look at my name up here, it says Dragon Scale In. It is actually in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles font from Cool Text, and I use this font on basically everything. You can see down below on my channel and my panels that I just changed the color scheme and the design of it. Just like here, we use the way up in that corner up there, yeah, that corner. We use the Wayfarer's Guide compass way up in the corner there, and it has the same text font that this map text is getting. So he's using the same themed font, even though it's in different colors and different textures and things like that, to keep the theme consistent from one thing to another on a show.
That is correct. And we are going.
There's a psychological aesthetic that we ascribe to it. For most people, they prefer for a theme to be matching and consistent. That consistency, like he was talking about earlier, with your schedule and your product, lends to the trust in the things that you're putting out there. The No Man's Sky font is so good a font. It is a good font. I've always been a fan of the Calibri style, and I don't really know why.
I like really strange fonts that a lot of people do not like. I'll be real honest.
I don't know of anybody using Calibri for anything.
I get a lot of I do a lot of designs like these, like what we're doing right now, and I actually get a lot of feedback about my font choices. Like a lot of people don't really dig my font choices.
I wonder if
So
that of was smaller and underset between the N and D.
I can do that. Actually, let's do this instead. It's already smaller than the rest of this. So let's just move this down.
Oop. Missed a layer.
I did. It's okay. Why isn't it selecting them both? Why is it doing that?
Because it doesn't want to be convenient. No tools
There
can
we
ever
go.
be convenient, sir. It just doesn't work.
There we go. Okay. So what we're
Division.
gonna do? We're
Or,
gonna go.
I don't know offhand what that looks like, but I want to look it up now.
Gonna select this. Now we're gonna go like these. So what I'm doing is I'm using an Alt keyboard, Alt arrow command here.
Oh, I think that might drive me insane, actually.
Using an Alt arrow command.
No, the Borda font. It's a very angular, kind of bubbly, blocked out font, and I think it would make me crazy.
Oh yeah, I do like Border from the Division. The Division. I love the Division, by the way.
I think that might make me nuts.
That's my favorite game to play. Real talk. So how about something like that there?
Yeah, I think that looks really well put together, and it kind of offsets to the side. It also means that you don't have to struggle with the matching of the font size for lands and of. Yeah, so the GeoNMS font is actually really cool. It's very minimalist. It's very angular. It's got a little bit of missing fragmentation from some of the letters, which I think is cool. But it is a standard text font. I could see it being replaced in basically almost any font and be okay. I don't know if I'd want to read a book with it, but as a design font, I think it would be fine. And I do like that font, the GeoNMS from the No Man's Sky. I think that font is okay, but the Borda font would drive me crazy personally.
What is crazy is because this is the first show, I don't have a folder for any of the logo work for this show.
Ha ha ha.
Because I hadn't gotten organized yet when I started making stuff for this.
Yeah, we had not done that very well.
You know?
Yeah, I think the thing I like about the Calibri is that it's close enough to a normal Times New Roman font, but it's also like almost Comic Sans. Like it's Comic Sans' take on Times New Roman.
Yeah, there we go. Now we got us a little map logo for the map. Yay! Oh, I better save the map this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom, I like your page. It looks very good, and you're right. It does work on this page layout,
Oh, let me check out the other
but
page.
can't I can't get behind it. Like personally, the font just it almost wants me to be crazy. My OCD wants to do things to it, like straighten out the corners of the E's and like
No, I
the
love it.
lowercase L's.
I love it. I think unique looking fonts are friggin' everything, and I hate people who are like, it's too fonty for me.
It's too fonty. No, no, no. And that's the thing is, it's not too fonty for me. I think it looks nice on his page, but there are things about it that make me freak out in my OCD, like the curved capital E's kind of drives me nuts. The little lip on the bottom of a lowercase L kind of drives me nuts. Like I want to just go straighten it out. I'm like, no, just
Yeah, I do not.
that's better. There we go. All those corners.
I do not. All right, so this time I saved the map, so we won't lose it. Right?
Yay!
Yay, we got a little tag for the map, so we know now that this is the lands of Melandria. And we actually have a little logo for the lands of
That looks
Melandria
so
now.
good up there too.
Doesn't it, though? Like, oh my god.
I want. Is the rest of the red in Melandria a different color than the M, or is it just because the darker shadowing behind it?
None of the colors are different in Melandria. What you're seeing is the amplification of the black behind it and the fact that those letters are thinner than the M and that they seem to have a darker outline because they're thinner than the M, but the outline is exactly the same. And the colors are the same. The M is just bigger, so you see less of the outline.
On a balanced spectrum, we might want to increase the size of the M shadow to balance to the same scale of the other letters. Just a art thing in my head, I guess.
Yeah, no, we can totally.
But irrelevant right now. It's whatever. Just
Yeah,
in my head, I'm like, okay, so the fix for that is what to balance the shadow grade.
nah, the fix for that actually is most likely okay. So one, as you see here, it doesn't look any different because it's not shrunk down, right? So
No, even there, it looks like the other letters have a darker tone
that's because they
because
do
of
have a
the
thicker. That's because they have a thicker,
right,
right? So what I
right.
would really need to do, right, is highlight that. Actually, so
Either thin the shadow on the rest of the word or extend the shadow on the M part, and that would probably do. I don't know.
okay. So I need to go up here to extensions. I need to go to text and I need to split the font. Okay. And I need to split the word into letters.
Here we're learning stuff, guys. These are tool tips.
And I'm going to do that. And now Melandria is all different letters. All right.
Whoa.
I did not mean to do that again, but whatever. So now we got an M and an L and an E, right? So now we can do what we want with each individual letter, right? So now I can take this and I can make it as big as I want, which actually is going to really be a good idea. I need to get this A over here. I need to get all these letters over here.
Like there's too many letters. They're all in the way. What the hell? See, now that actually looks good. I think it's because the M is much bigger than the other parts that it looks.
Well, that's what I told you. This was the fix for this.
Yeah, and then it's just figuring out the spacing to make all the letters work, right?
Right. And I probably should get out the ruler, but let me get the letter spelled.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Yeah,
exactly.
it's a-okay. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Well, it does actually.
I mean, okay.
How come I can't get the E? Pissing me off.
It is mad at you, boy. That E says, nah, boy, you can't get me.
He sure did.
Well, now I feel like you need a ruler.
Yeah, probably do need a ruler now.
Like, wait a minute. Some
Probably
of these are
probably
funny.
do need a ruler now. All right. And I'm going to have to get out a width ruler eventually. But not quite yet.
Not today, Satan.
Behind me. I did not mean to do that. I just meant to grab a ruler.
I was say, yeah, you're gonna stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Woo!
Actually, let's take this eye and get it out of the way because it is totally in the way right now.
Don't take out his eye. So I think that when we're looking at the the Pantheon ranks,
Mm-hmm.
the racial deities are either in the rank 16 to 20, which puts them in the greater deities, or they're in the 11 to 15 called intermediate deities. And generally, to get rank 11 to 15, you have to have hundreds of thousands of mortal worshippers and control a large godly realm that is a larger godly realm than demigods and lesser deities. And with the shift in the followers scenario that I think that this world probably would entail for those particular races, I think it probably shifts them down the peg to the rank 610, the lesser deity status. They can still grant spells, can still perform deeds that other demigods can, the sensing of certain phenomenon from 10 miles or more away. Lesser deities have anywhere from a few thousand to tens of thousands of worshippers and control larger godly realms than demigods. They also have keener senses where their portfolios are concerned, and they're not worried about being too lessened on the power base, keeping in those ranks of what those deities can do. Like the rank 6 to 10 deities can sense up to 5 remote locations, whereas the 11 to 15 can sense up to 10 remote locations. They get free actions per round of the same scale. They still get 5, whereas the lesser deities get 11 from 11 to 15 ranks get 10 free actions per round. Creating magic items where an 11 to 15 rank deity can create up to 200,000 gold pieces of non-artifacts. The 6 to 10 can only create up to 30,000 gold piece value on artifacts, only non-artifacts. So it's more limiting on the powers that they have, not taking away powers that they wouldn't get,
Right.
but it just limits them down a little.
I think that's
Like the radius
fine.
of
Ultimately, I, honestly, so the biggest impact to the deity situation is definitely fucking, what fucking clerics have to deal with, I guess, largely, right? Like,
yes, I think that is probably, well, until you start looking into like how trade routes work and who's funding the guilds, or who's, things like that nature. I think that's where we run into what the churches and pantheons are really doing. And then the day-to-day lives of people. How important are the churches? How important are the functions of the churches? How important are the fundages of the churches? Like, do they fund city programs or things like that? I think some of the churches would in some of the places, and some of the churches wouldn't in some of the places,
I got you, I
So
got you.
places that like Heronius is revered would probably have more like homeless outreach and violence shelters and things like that. Would have a stricter town watch, a different jailing and criminal processing facility. They would be functionally a little bit different than like Hexter, who would have trial by combat out in the courtyard and the dead one loses. So, the I think that it really boils down to the way the society functions with the church, and as long as we could keep in mind what the church is doing on the side, and um alter the agendas accordingly. I think as long as we keep in mind the change in their power levels, that there isn't really a lot of structure change that has to happen. Just the presence of certain deities is minimized and certain deities is maximized.
Right. I'm with that. I don't like this though. This is gonna have to change again.
The E too big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It sure is.
I think the E, the R, and the I could probably all shrink down to that other
Yeah, yeah.
size range.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that too.
Otherwise, I think we're on the right track and it's looking good.
I don't know how they just got
That
so.
also leaves those deities that are racial biased, like Grumsh and Coral and the Raytheon and Curdlemock, and a few others. It leaves them with the ability to still grant spells and spell-like abilities without taking that away. You also have to keep in mind, especially for like portfolios and domain spells, that domain functions are still available for clerics of deities in this level, because those are functionally like very important to the pantheon itself and the way that a lot of things work around it.
Cool.
So I think that really actually works well if we upgrade Cord and Bakob and downgrade the racial deities like Garl Glittergold and Curdlemock and Grumsh and like I said, a few of the other specifically race related. If we drop them down to that next group down and put them in the lesser deities category, it still maintains their portfolios while putting them in the right place, and it raises up the two that really I think would gain the most followers out of it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Which is actually really interesting because that means that Moradin and Coral and the Raytheon are staying at the same level because they would not change, but Grumsh and Grumsh and There's a few others too. Grumsh especially. The change with Grumsh is a little off-sided towards the Chord and Moradin and Corlin the Raytheon end. But it means that our world in general will have sort of a good bend towards it. More neutral good, a chaotic good.
I believe that's what it would have anyway.
Unicorn Obby, but it can't.
Right.
But Gabe's the Obby master.
Okay. I don't know why you're playing with Obsidian, but okay.
No, I'm not.
Well, you said he's an obby master.
Wait, I'm trying to beat Unicorn Obby, but I need Gabe.
You need an Obsidian unicorn?
No, not you. Eddie.
I don't think she likes my I don't think she likes it. Okay.
Yeah.
Go play, baby. You're fine. I don't think she likes it.
You don't like what?
The idea that Obby is Obsidian to me.
Oh,
She's trying to tell me it's another thing, and I don't know.
Well, you know.
Okay, well, I'm trying to have a show. Oh, go play your game.
That is so funny with the name Emma.
Okay, then. Anyway. Ooh, now you're getting fancy. What you doing there?
I'm using the gradient tool.
Hope you guys are watching out there. Gradient tool lessons over here, how this works.
I'm using the gradient tool. That is all this. We are going to actually do something to make the M probably unique, I think. So like we might change the color or something. Okay, I think what we're gonna do is hit that with the gradient tool like that. Yeah, maybe gold.
I like contrast color. That's good.
Yeah, maybe gold for the.
Do you have the same gold on your palette as you used for the compass?
I'm not sure. I'm sure I use this gold right here for the compass, actually. It's the closest thing to gold on this. And then I wanna this is I wanna I probably need to bring it in the clips and make what other ever effects I wanna make to it. I wanna make it like shiny.
Ooh.
Like the M,
like a chromatic texture?
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna do that in clips, but not today because it's 2:51.
What?
I know. I just looked.
What?
I just looked down at the clock and was like, "What? Like it's almost time to end the show, y'all."
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's almost time to end the show. It's almost time to get on out of here. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me and Dragon today. I mean,
absolutely, all you guys out there that came and kept us company and talked to us about all sorts of things, we appreciate each and every one of you. The one note I want to make about the change in the way that things work is that in the book, Bakob is listed as a deity at 17 rank, which is greater deity status, of course. But honestly, there aren't a lot of larger scale greater deities than Bakob. I think they all run into the 17, 18 rank. But I think that Bakob having the knowledge and balance domain in this particular deal might need to get bumped up to like the premier seat in the Pantheon run. And I know that in a game that I played with Chris and James and a few other people, the evil game that they always talk about, where the pellets of utter became a thing.
Uh-huh.
In the moment of the thing that went crazy and all the deity, like the Pantheon explosion, Bakob saw what was happening well before the thing went down and formulated his own plan around it. And having the knowledge domain and being able to see all things that revolve around new magic or new spells or new events or new knowledges fucking 20 days in advance, 17 days in advance, and 17 days after the fact. Like, seeing all of the things involved around it and focusing on 20 different spots at a time and all of the powers that Bakob could put to his disposal. I would really love to see Bakob move to like a rank 20 or a 21, but I wouldn't like to see him become an overgod because that's just scary.
I'm really gonna let you handle all the back end DM stuff. Like, I can do that stuff, but one, my plate.
I enjoy those numbers
and
and playing with those
stuff.
things.
I really don't. Like, one of the things that keeps me from DMing is not that I don't like to do the story and the interaction.
The number balancing and encounter work.
I don't like all the encounter work and the number balancing. Like, I'd rather write the story, give it to a DM, and then be like, you just, write encounters for this story, and, I'll just enjoy the story I wrote and be surprised with the encounters.
Yeah, no, I like that whole way that we're gonna go about it, and I do enjoy the back end number stuff and the encounter building and the toying with intricacies and the builds and the feat orders and the stuff like that. I enjoy those parts of the game. I think those are the things I like more than all the other stuff.
If it were up to me and I was your DM and I was playing the perfect game for me, then you guys would just be playing that game from Rick and Morty. Where he's just playing a video game about somebody's life. That's pretty much what you'd be doing. I'd be like, so you woke up in a Castle City town situation and you're a peasant. Figure it out. It's like...
I mean, I'm down for that game style. We've even toyed about having games where we start as a commoner class or a specialty, peasant class or whatever, and work our way up to actual classes
like
and building gestalts and stuff like that.
Role playing, right? But like, I just get caught up in the director role play, not the encounters and stuff. I'd be like, oh, we got to do encounters now. I have to roll
because that's how you role play through the game.
I gotta do math and stuff. Ew. And it's not that I can't do it, but I just feel like
it's not fun for everybody, and it's really like it's one of the things that stops more people from DMing. I think is the number work and the crunch stuff and the analysis of like feasibility percentages and KO percentages and PK wipes and shit like how much can the party handle? How well do your players know the characters? How well do they know the system? There's a lot that goes into the balance of it being fun and it being a PK wipe.
Right.
It's
so, and
sometimes PKs are fun too, but
it's not that I don't have the ability. I really don't have the patience. That's a much better way to put that. Like, I am doing a lot of writing and doing a lot of math is not appealing to me. I guess. But we're coming up on the end of the hour. We got 3 minutes left in the show. Dragon's got to get out of here today. He's going to help a friend.
Yeah, I have to go help. I have to help my friends move. I really don't want to do that. I've known this guy since college. They are about to embark on a life-changing endeavor around the world, actually, and the whole trip is crazy exciting for them, and I hope that it goes amazing and that they really do find out there all the stuff that they need to make themselves happy and keep their family together and doing everything to move forward through transitions with themselves and with other people and what's going on. And on top of that, it's also sad for me because I spent a long time waiting for him to come back after graduate school, and now that he is back and he's been around a while, now he's going off again. And it's like I'm super glad that he gets to go travel the world and be with his family and do some things. But at the same time, it's sad for me that he's leaving, and I won't know when or if he's actually coming back here. So the only way I can guarantee to see him is if I go find him somewhere around the world. And my ability to do that makes me a little sad for the endeavor, but I'm happy that he gets to go have an adventure. So there's that.
Well, I wish your friend the best of luck. I hope that your relationship, stays active. Even while he takes a trip throughout the world.
And even if it isn't active, he's like my brother. I love him to death. And he could call me out of the blue in 3 years and be like, "Hey man, what you doing?" And I'd go run across the street to find him. So
I love it. I love it. But
it's
hey, I'm Mr. Solutions.
I'm the dragon.
He's the dragon.
This has been an amazing episode of Wayfarer's Guide. I've loved having you guys all here.
Yeah,
Don't
I
forget to
enjoyed
treat
it.
each other as you would treat yourselves, and be kind to each and every one of you people out there. You're all lovely, and we love your faces.
That's right. You guys stay safe, you stay positive, and always, always stay creative. We're out of here. It's been 3 hours. You guys enjoy yourself.